Yo, YouTube, welcome into another video. Money Game 3. I've heard Money Game 1 and Money Game 2. I thought that the Money Game series from Ren might be like my favorite that he's dropped, but I haven't heard him in a while, so I'd have to go back and listen to see what the vibes were. But Money Game 3, it's a 9-minute video, so don't expect a lot of pausing and talking or any of that. We got to get through this hoe. But follow us on Twitch. As you can see, we're live. We do our New Music Friday, every Saturday, whatever day it lands on, but it happens every time. Join us live on Twitch, guys, and also join Patreon if y'all guys want to see this video and videos like this early or exclusively, depending on what the video is. Most of us stuff that we do on the channel actually doesn't make the channel. It goes to Patreon exclusively, so consider joining over there. But let's see what we got. Ren, Money Game 3. Let's get it. Imagine fucking this up and you got to start all over. It's giving me serious 21 Pilots vibes for some reason. Peaky Blinders ass haircut, isn't it? I'm gonna let my top grow out long like that.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old.
Fun fact, most first words from babies are no, because that's what they get told all the time. So it's the easiest one.
Quickly, 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents pay for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire.
Hey, GG's, my boy. I know the song's about money being the root of all evil, but hey, yes, sir. We love capitalism over here. You go get that bread, my boy, if you're a genius.
Vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns.
Talk to him, Dad. I hear nothing wrong with this song so far. Low key, the world don't give a fuck about you. If you think they do, they don't.
Man, This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a lie.
The truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, the lie will sell itself.
To wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23.
This shit's gonna make me look like a bad guy by the end of this song for saying everything that I just said.
Obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not.
All right, Dad, you're taking it too far, my boy. Your boy won when he was 17. All right? Why do we got to go into arms dealing? You were doing just fine.
Now he's 30. His daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval. Moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
Sounds like bro just needed a therapist to avoid all this. A therapist say, hey, your dad's off his fucking rocker. Your dad's off his rocker. Stop listening to him. That's all he needed.
The po-po inside of his pocket. $35. He gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again.
This story is way different than the money games that I've heard before. I mean, it's in the same like concept that money like drives you to, but this is like a personal story versus the other one was kind of just the overall arching theme, that is capitalism that eventually drives to greed, that eventually drives to downfall. This is like a personal note version. All right. So I hate to tell everybody that thinks that this is one take. There was 100% a cut right there. 5 minutes, though, is not, that's impressive for a one take video. 5 minutes straight is impressive. But when we went behind the wheelchair right there, I bet 10 cents that there was a cut right there.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his
No one is telling you in the United States of America to go overboard with your indulgence and start dealing weapons and heroin. That's not exactly the pursuit of happiness.
The land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him. And it's a version of she. And it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
Well, 1911, no big deal. We're gonna put one in the dome ski. This is about
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
All right. The end got super real at the end right there. I was mad scared the whole time, thinking that I was about to get banned on Twitch for TOS because somebody just fucking unalived himself in a video game. It fits right in line with the rest of the Money Game series, right? It's obviously much more sensationalized as an individual. Obviously, this is not a path that your average person goes down. How do I feel about this? How do I feel about this? This is less to me, because it's a story about an individual person. This is less to me about the downside of capitalism or the scary greed. Greed is scary. It's less about that to me, and it's more about the shitty dad. It's more about his shitty dad. And somebody's got to break the cycle. Like if his dad wasn't so shitty, I think the story would have ended up differently. That's really what I feel like. I feel like if the dad wasn't so shitty, the story would have been different. If his dad said, "Hey, I'm proud of you," at 20 years old and a millionaire, I think he would have just stayed a millionaire. I mean, and I know that's not the intention of the song, and the dad is just a voice of the system talking about how greed is bad and how capitalism inherently isn't bad. It's just how bad it can get, I guess you can say. But yeah, just the story is sad to me. The story's sad to me, not necessarily because of the greed and not necessarily because he ended up shooting himself. The story is sad to me just because if he had a positive male figure in his life, the story would have never happened. The song would have ended at like 2 minutes and 15 seconds once he got the millions of dollars. It's obviously a well-crafted song. The music video is well-crafted. The one-take thing is extremely impressive. His musical talent is impressive. If that was him playing the piano right at the beginning, impressive as fuck. Rhyme scheme's impressive. Story creation, story arc, impressive. But to me, it's just, if the character had a positive male father figure, a male father role, the story wouldn't have even happened. And I think it's because I see that a lot you know, especially being a 34-year-old who does have male positive figures, and seeing how not having one affects in real life people around me and affects the decisions that they make. Even if they don't think it affects, it does affect them. I think that is more of the impact of the story for me. I think it's just a sad story because it comes from sad parenting. Like, what's better, to have no dad or have this dad? They both seem like lose-lose to me. Money is never bad. It's a tool that could go good or evil, just depends who uses it. Exactly. It's a good story though. I'm always intrigued, and I'm always like, this is not going to be something that I fucking jam. I'm not like hopping in the whip and be like, let me put on that Money Game Part 3 type shit. I think I would rather listen to KOD by J. Cole, which is a much more digestible version of this concept. And that's the thing with a lot of Ren's music, is it's not music that I would necessarily listen to on a regular basis, but that doesn't mean I think that it's bad. It's just that this type of music is very much it's a movie. You know, it's like when you watch a movie. It's like when you watch a movie and like you've already seen the movie. You're not going to get that first time watch experience ever again. Yeah, performative. That's the word I'm listening to. It's a very That's not the word I'm listening to. The word I'm thinking of. It's a very performative, literal performance. Like, if this ended up being a Broadway play with like 3 acts and shit like that, I would pay to go watch this play, but I would not put this on Apple Music and listen to in the car. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly the same thing, Volta. That's the exact album I was thinking of as I was saying all this, but I don't know how many of Ren's like fan base that might watch this video listens to Quadeca, so I didn't know if that was going to be an analogy or a comparison that they would get, but it's very much like Quadeca's most recent album. You know, it's a difficult listen when you're not watching the music videos, when you're not actively participating in the visual aspect of it, just because that is just as much a part of the experience as the song itself. So I enjoyed it, and it's powerful, but I think my takeaway of the song is different than what other people took away from it. This is very much a song that can be taken away as, oh, money is bad, greed is bad, but in my mind it's like bad parenting, bad father figures is even worse than what money is type shit.